Senate aides say former FBI Director James Comey has declined to testify before the Intelligence Committee next week as their Russia investigation intensifies. This comes as President Trump launches a tweet attack amid the fallout from the firing of Comey. Today, President Trump issued a warning, tweeting, quote, "James Comey better hope that there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press." The president also threatened to cancel press briefings and replace them with written statements, quote, "for the sake of accuracy." Joining us now is the host of Face the Nation, John Dickerson. And John, this has been quite a week, even for an unconventional administration like the Trump White House. So on Sunday, what will you guys be focusing on? How do you zero in on all of this and start to sort through it all?
Well, that's a good question. The reason it's unconventional, just relative to an unconventional president, is that the president's explanation for why he fired Director Comey has shifted over the days. And so when the president does something unconventional, usually just reflects on him. But in this case, it reflects on his White House and is on his vice president, who gave one rationale for the decision on Tuesday. That rationale has now changed a lot because the president has given new information. The president also requested a letter from the deputy attorney general that outlined some reasons for that James Comey could no longer run the FBI. Those reasons seem totally different than the president. So it is this moment of improvisation by the president is causing some complicated situations in other parts of his presidency. And so that's what's a little different here. We're going to talk to Adam Schiff, who's the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, about the state of the Russia investigation. But also, the president talked about these quote unquote tapes at the White House. Schiff wants to listen to those tapes if they exist. Then Ben Sasse, who has been a critic of the president, Republican from Nebraska, will also be on. We want to talk to him. He's on the Judiciary Committee. He deals with these issues. What's his take on things? He said he was troubled by this decision this week. So what does that really mean? And John, you know, a lot of people asking now, OK, well, who has the authority to sort through some of this stuff? So where do these congressional committees and their investigations play into all of this? Well, as you remember, the president has called this a witch hunt, whether it's the FBI investigation or the Republican committees in the House and the Senate, or the committees headed by Republicans in the House and the Senate that are investigating these. They will go forward and hold hearings, those committees, and they will continue to work with the FBI to try to uncover whether there's any connection between the Russian effort to meddle in the election and the Trump campaign. So they will continue, and now they just have this new kind of event that has taken place, which makes everything that much more curious, and people are paying even more attention than they were before, if that was possible. Right. All right, John, well, thank you so much. We'll be watching on Sunday, and don't forget, you can watch Face the Nation with John Dickerson Sunday morning at 10:30 here on CBS 3.
And right